Good morning, mi gente. It's 9 a.m. I know, gay people and an LGBTQ plus Kiki at 9 in the freaking morning? Well, that's why I'm still in bed. Me? I'm FayWhat! And this program was created by Hotspots Happening Out. The FayWhat show is America's first LGBTQ plus morning show, and I'm broadcasting live and also available on demand. In 2025, our Hotspots magazine celebrates 40 years of documenting the LGBTQ plus experience. It is the largest publication of its kind in Florida and one of the oldest in America. Happening Out Television Network Queer News Tonight is celebrating 5 years with 10,000 television stories and more than 10 million views in 2024. Hotspots Happening Out will be producing some of the most incredible LGBTQ plus events this year. First, the 25th anniversary of the Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival on June 14th, with a gigantic nightglow parade on the famous Wilton Drive. Next, the summer's Red Hot Pride Fest on August 9th, and Pride Fort Lauderdale in February 2026. Look out for that. In the same model of PBS and NPR, we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to educate and serve the LGBTQ plus community. It is Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. We have lots of fun things to talk about today, so come on, let's go.
Gay boys, hashtag that girl. Sunbeams, drag queens, L-word. Is that girl the girl of all I dream? She's everything that every girl should be. Aqua, South Beach, hashtag that girl. Pride-filled, tea-dance, Wilton. Is that girl Latina, but she's universal too. If you find a girl to love, only one girl to love, then she'll be that girl too. That girl.
At the FayWhat show, we want to introduce you to interesting people who are so important to our LGBTQ plus community. This morning, I present to you an interview with one such influential queer trailblazer, Allen Martello. So Allen is the ED of the OUTshine Film Festival, one of the nation's premier LGBTQ plus film festivals, celebrating diverse voices and bold storytelling. Welcome to the FayWhat show, Allen.
Hey.
How are you, honey?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am good. I love this little outfit. What's going on here? Like,
well,
I don't know whether to milk you or like suck on your titty.
Well, I woke up like this today. Sometimes you got to sleep like a polar bear. But no, there's no hibernating right now. We've been a little bit too busy because it is OUTshine season.
It is OUTshine season. Oh my God, can you believe it? Folks at home, I know that you have been to the OUTshine Film Festival. How many years has OUTshine been here now?
Oh gosh, I think we're going into year 27.
Are you serious?
Yeah, almost 30 years
wow.
of queer storytelling in South Florida.
Wow. So me and Allen, we met last year, right? We met last year when you were contracted by OUTshine to oversee the transition to being a consecutive film festival. And by what I mean by that is that OUTshine Film used to have a Miami week and then would have a Fort Lauderdale week on 2 different times of the year. And then last year, you folks came up with the incredible idea to do it back to back. And you trailblazed that. You made that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, like, tell me a little bit about how that came to pass.
Yeah, so this was, and I love taking credit. However,
a la Mark Gilbert.
However, let's do a little shout out here. Mark, I'm going to say this. Write it down. It's recorded. This was an idea that Mark Gilbert had been trying to pitch for some time, right? But this is a lot of work.
Okay.
This is a lot of work. Essentially, instead of running 2 film festivals a year, OUTshine is really running 4 film festivals a year, right?
Wow.
Because we open in one community, we close in the other. That means all new venues. That means all new parties, new everything, right?
New vendors, new everything.
Yes, we double down on our big spotlight night. So in the fall, as you mentioned, we opened it here in Fort Lauderdale and we closed in Miami. What we'll do on April 17th is we'll open in Miami. We will go all the way through to Centerpiece. Something new we're doing this particular year is we're going to do the Centerpiece event. Ready for this? Closer to the center of our communities.
Go figure!
Right? At Dania Point, hoping to bring those communities together, right? So everybody needs to get out their passports. cross that county line. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we will close out here in Fort Lauderdale.
I love that idea. Now, okay, see, one of my hashtags is Wilton Miami Girl, right? Because I'm one of the few people that like go, Allen too, though. Allen will be in Miami. He'll be in Wilton. He'll be in Fort Lauderdale. He'll be anywhere. You give him a gay party in Cutler Bay, he's going, right? So, but not everybody's like
Right,
us.
yeah.
Okay, people love to stay in their little bubble, and there's nothing wrong with that, folks. I totally get it. But you want to explore, and Miami's right there. And Miami, folks, Wilton is right there. Fort Lauderdale is right
I was that
there.
girl. I was that girl, right? I live in Miami Beach. I like the beach, you know?
Yep.
I was like, cross a bridge.
Yeah.
But once you do it, and you get out there, guys, ladies, there's a whole new world on the other side of the bridge, on the other side of the county line. And one of the things we're doing at OUTshine is we're trying to do that. And look, in the fall, you know, we had over 30% in Miami for people from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
That's like 10 times what I expected.
Yes.
Because again, it's like going to another country. It's a lot of work.
No, but and it's not though, Allen. Stop saying that.
Well, but we think it is.
We
think it
and
is.
yes,
Yeah.
it really is. And yeah, okay, a lot of the streets in Miami are in Spanish. And yeah, people can't drive down there. And 95 is a freaking joke. But you might end up finding your freaking future partner in life.
Especially at OUTshine.
But that's what I'm saying. I've met couples that have met there, okay? That went to go see a movie with a friend. There was, there was a little after party kind of thing. They met somebody they liked. They went to future movies together and are still together to this day.
That's right. Why do you think I took the job? My fingers are still crossed.
Estúpido.
I learned at least 9 phrases in Spanish and ready to go.
And was one of them estúpido?
Estúpido was one of them. I would tell you the others, but I don't know the ratings of the show. I don't want to get us canceled by PBS.
Oh my God, you're hysterical. So, Allen, you've got a marketing background. You have helped many organizations in the past. Not a film festival, though. How did you get yourself prepared for that? I mean, because let me explain something to you folks at home. Allen is kicking serious butt. Okay, look him up, follow him on social media. The reason that you're hearing more about OUTshine is because of this new invigoration energy that is now OUTshine. You know, Mark paved the way and opened the door for this to happen, and Allen is bringing it in such a way. You know, but how?
We are. That's a great question. When you figure it out, no, I'm kidding. We are in a time right now. And I'll make this connection back to your question, but we are in a time right now where telling these stories is more important than ever, right? OUTshine was created during a time in which telling these stories was scary, right? You go back 30 years, it was like, crap. How do we tell these stories? How secretive do we do it? People came to OUTshine, they weren't out yet, they were afraid to be out.
Yeah.
It was a scary time. And I got to tell you, there are times right now where it's feeling a little too familiar for me, right?
Yes.
So us telling these stories and having a stage and a platform for these queer stories to be told is so incredibly important. My background in the nonprofit space is very marketing driven. It's very development driven and very event driven. And it's funny because when I first started working with OUTshine, I was asked a very similar question by the board. Okay, cool. Nonprofits and you know fundraising, but you don't know film festivals. And you're not wrong. At the root of nonprofits and at the root of events, it's all the same thing anyway, right? I'm going to raise money and there's going to be sponsors and there's going to be these elements. In this particular case, because I'm not an expert in film festivals at all, love me some good gay films. I'm not talking about porn, everybody calm down. But
that's OnlyFans, that's not us.
That's why I have, no, I'm kidding. So at the end of the day, I have this phenomenal staff at OUTshine that are experts in this space. Our director of programming, Joe, this is what he does.
Joe is a movie genius.
Yes.
Okay, he is a movie nerd.
Yep.
And understand that when I use the word nerd, it is never in a derogatory way. It is a beautiful spotlight. I am attracted to nerds. My wife is a nerd. I love nerds. Okay? And Joe is that. I think I've only met Joe in person once because I'm always talking to him on Zoom and when we're talking about the movies. And that man has seen them all.
Yes, he screens over 2,000 films a year.
Holy crap.
Narrows it down. We have a team, of course, of volunteers that help us narrow it down for each community.
There's a screening committee. I know that Dino Mosqueda, he's going to be on our show next week. We're going to be talking about Spanish films. I know that he's on that committee, right?
Yeah. So he runs the one in the spring. Jim Labrie, who's our board treasurer, runs the one in the fall. And it takes a lot of work. 2,000 films a year get narrowed down to the 130 or so that we actually show over the course of a year. Alexis Bush.
Alexis is the joint.
Almost as long as Mark.
Alexis is the joint.
11
okay,
years.
Alexis, you're awesome.
Yes, but that's the, she's our marketing, our operations expert. That's the team that makes this happen. Why are they so important? That way I can go and focus. We brought in Jason Cobian, Jasmine Price Lord joined our team a few months ago this year. And again, the Alexis and the Joe and even Mark's expertise is what allows Jason and I to go and do the things that really get us this kind of attention. It makes it loud about OUTshine. Again, working with new vendors and new partners and new sponsors.
And that gets all of us excited. We are event lovers in LGBTQ+. And let's remind people that it's not just for LGBTQ+, it's for our allies as well. You want to get educated, these movies do that for you in a simple way, in a comedic way, in a documentary way, however you want to eat it up. It's there for you. Yeah,
you can learn, you can laugh, you can cry. Sometimes you laugh and you cry at the same time.
At the same time.
It's a whole experience. And the lineup we have this year is just beautiful.
Well, so let's talk about kicking it off. We're kicking it off at the Regal South Beach. I love the Regal South Beach. We were worried that we were going to lose it. I'm so glad that we didn't because it's a wonderful space right at the top of Lincoln Road and Alton Road. They've got adjacent parking, super easy. So we're kicking off OUTshine with Swift Horses starring Jacob Elordi.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Did you know that
Saltburn.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And did you know that people are infatuated with his feet? That's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a feet person.
Any piece of him is fine. I don't.
Okay.
He's so hot. Okay, look at him. He's so freaking cute.
He's so freaking hot.
Yeah, he's so cute. And he did that photo shoot for his last film where he's in the little underwear.
Yes. But I love, that's a great way to kick off.
Yes, it's a really, really cool film. It's a fun film. We look at a number of things when we say it's opening night, right? And we want opening night to be just amazing, right? We want it to be loud and fun. So we're at the Regal. We've got this great, super popular film. The reviews are fantastic. People are loving it. Hot guys. It's funny. It's got some great lessons in it. And then we're going to go to the venue at the Rum Room, which is attached to the Miami Beach Convention Center, and we are going to have one hell of a party.
Oh, I love that. And that's right there. It'll take you 2 minutes to get there.
It's quick, it's easy. Yep, Cece Glitzer is our host for the night.
I love Cece. Yep. Oh my God, the German sensation. Don't play with her. She's amazing. So I've loved film festivals forever. I'm from New York, Tribeca. I love Fort Lauderdale Film Festival down here. OUTshine has always been my baby just because the queer stories are important to me, obviously, right? But your parties really set you apart from other film festivals, from my seat, okay? And with this new programming, I've been hearing about that, we're elevating these events to kind of mini galas.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're theming them. We're really focused. We have a Latin Spotlight film. We should have a Noche Latina party.
Yeah.
Right? Josefina de los Globos is going to be there.
Nice.
Michael from Brazil. And we're going to have this really, really fun party on the Twisted Tonic rooftop. And it's going to be great. Because here's what I have to do, right? I'm going to give you guys the secret. Don't tell anybody, okay? I think that we grew up saying, how do we watch queer film, right? Is it different? I think that other people didn't. They could turn on Netflix and watch Red, White, and Royal Blue and Love, Simon and all of these really great shows.
Yeah.
That I remember, Get Real was the first queer film I ever watched. It was on a VHS tape. I'll explain to you kids what that is later. And I hid it from my parents, right? Because I was 16, 17 years old. And you had to wait till it was 2 hours and you had to... So helping our community understand why come watch film in a theater like this, why do it. One, we say film is much more fun with friends. But two, boy, do we know how to party.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes, particularly with our lady community.
Hey, ladies. Hey, Jennifer.
We have to trick them into coming to see the movie, right? Because they want to come to a really kick-ass party.
Yes.
So, we do this very specific thing. A lot of other festivals, you can buy a party ticket and a movie ticket. We don't do that, right? If you want to know how to get into the party, you got to come to the film. And what happens is they thank us, right? People say, I wouldn't have done this on my own.
Wow.
Right? Because I didn't think, why would I go watch a gay movie? I can catch it on Netflix, or I can catch it on Amazon, or whatever. And then they come and they have this great experience because you're in a theater with 100 plus, 200 of your closest friends and allies, and it just makes for a different experience.
It really does. It really does.
So then you come to a kick-ass party, and let me tell you, we're going to feed you. And if you walk away sober, that was a choice. Because we want you to have fun. We want you to dance.
Yes.
We want you to have a great time.
And we're surprised if you walk away sober, just
That's
to
right.
let you know.
That's right.
From the girls' standpoint, right, there's not a lot of girls representation when it comes to parties. There's parties, of course, and we've got them, but not as many as the gay boys, right? And OUTshine really makes it a point to spotlight the women's films, to spotlight the women's shorts that are hysterical every year. And like a lot of us have the attention span of a gnat. So sometimes those shorts come in really handy, right? Because I can just take for 10 minutes.
Take at one time.
It's all I can take. But a lot of these girls will come for the party, like Alan said, and then be like, oh, wait a minute, there's a movie involved? Okay, and then they'll come back. They'll come back, you know?
Yep. They really like it and they enjoy it. And like, you know, we just, again, we live in a time where it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So putting us together, staying strong. I will tell you, we're doing something really, really cool for our ladies spotlight. Remember, it's like running 2 festivals. So we'll have a men's and ladies spotlight in Miami, and we're going to do it again in Fort Lauderdale. In Fort Lauderdale, we are creating kind of our own little block party, right? So the men's and ladies films will be different. The parties will run concurrently, one at the Well and one at Lit. Which
right next door. So they can hang out in the courtyard right there.
So that we can kind of mix and mingle. Our ladies that want to just be with ladies can do that, right? We know that's a thing. But occasionally there's a lesbian that likes us gay boys and they want to come hang out with us.
Of course.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really mix and mingle. We're going to have a great time.
And that comes back to your platform of being inclusive. You know, Allen is all about being inclusive. OUTshine is about being all inclusive. They always have been, right? But this is also a way to merge folks. Like, the times that we're in right now with you-know-who, right, at the helm, if we don't start unifying, we are in deep shit, okay? Let's be completely real and true. And so doing things like saying, no, we're going to have the Broward people and the Miami people meet in Dania. That's amazing. You know, having the girls at the Well and the boys at Lit and saying, hey, we all have our common ground in the parking lot and let's hang out. Yeah. That's how you unify people.
That's the story we have to be. We have to be telling a story of togetherness and unity. If you look at all of the marketing this year, the kind of underlying theme, everything says unapologetically queer on it, right?
Yeah.
And this is our way of saying, you know, we're here, we're queer.
We're queer.
But we want to tell these stories. We want to keep providing a platform. We're working with our community partners closer than ever right now to say, let us give you a platform, right? Come and tell your story at OUTshine.
Yeah.
Right? Because we have this safe space that we are working to you know, keep safe and expand and grow for generations to come.
And you do it so well. And it keeps on getting better and better. And, you know, something about queer films is that we want to see ourselves on screen, right? At the end of the day, we just want to see ourselves on screen.
Of course. Right?
You know, that's all we've ever wanted,
that's
right? You know, like we saw Bugs Bunny in a dress and we're like, oh my God, that's us. You know what I mean? Because that's all we had.
Right. Absolutely. But it's like, we can know for certain that from April 17th to April 27th, you can walk into movie theaters across both counties and you can see people that look like us, think like us, act like us, talk like us, and be surrounded by that community as well, which is support. It is fun, right? Because if you just have fun,
you have
fun.
Do anything
that's fun. I'll go to a party in Cutlet Bay if I'm going to have fun, right?
Yes.
So we want to do that. We want to bring that fun. We want you to laugh with us, cry with us, learn with us. And it's going to be a hell of a good time.
And you get to network, you know, also. But there's something about, you know, again, we were raised by watching movies at home, right? Yeah, okay. But there's something about watching a film at the theater. There's something about gasping at the same time that everybody at your row gasps. There's something about getting a joke that maybe somebody else didn't, right? Like, you know what I mean? There's something about that vibe. Yeah. And then when you walk out and you talk to people that you don't even freaking know, and you're like, oh, that part. That is that kind of, that unification that I'm telling you about, you know?
And the big screen.
On the big screen.
Sometimes size does matter.
We're size queens. You know we're size queens. But speaking of that, okay, so April 17th is the kickoff to April 24th, but then at home.
So April 24th is our move date. So April 17th we open in Miami. The 24th is our center event at Dania Point. That's our together. Of course you can come down to Miami from Fort Lauderdale.
Of course.
And vice versa. But that center event at Dania Point at the Regal with a big party. We're taking over the terrace at Bolero.
Love it.
Again,
I love Bolero.
It's going to be so much fun.
And then 24 to 27.
24 to 27 in Fort Lauderdale. Right? We will close on the 27th at the Savor Cinemas.
I love the Savor Cinema. Oh my God. Film, old school. Love it.
Yes, it's beautiful.
I love that theater.
I love it. The film For Mothers is just beautiful, right? I told a group of our big donors yesterday, I said, I'm not sure, I remember the last time that I laughed and cried at the same time. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful, we're going to have a great party there afterwards. And then Outshine at Home will run for the following week, where you can watch select films at home screened direct to your devices, your TV, your Roku, whatever. And you can find all that at outshinefilm.com.
Okay, there you go. All right. So, personally, let's get some personal stuff out of Allen now. All right, Mr. Executive Director. How long have you been Executive Director now? What? 3 days? How long?
Pretty much February 1st.
It feels like
I'm hiding in my bear now. So yeah. So of course I worked with Outshine in the fall. Under a management contract. And it's kind of like, it's kind of dating, you know? We got to hang out, we got to do stuff. We said, hey, we like each other, right? Yeah. So we worked out the details in January with the transition. February 1st, I officially became the guy. And I've been loving it. You know, I was a nonprofit guy in Western Pennsylvania. I'm a Pittsburgh boy. I know. I speak such good Spanish. You don't know it.
He doesn't.
I don't.
He doesn't.
She says estúpida. That's all she says. That's all I understand.
That's all I kept on calling him was estúpida, and not even estúpido.
No, estúpida.
Estúpida.
But yeah, I was a Chamber of Commerce guy. I was a nonprofit guy. I worked in development for universities.
Pennsylvania, do you miss the cold? No, right? Because I don't at all. No, I just visited my parents in Scranton a couple of weeks ago, and I could have done without.
Yeah,
I could have just seen them on the screen.
I remind my family that I live in paradise, and if you would like to see this, come down. You can sleep on my couch.
Then you come here.
Right.
You're single and you love to dance.
I do. I love to dance, and I don't know. I think this is part of.
Is that the reason you're single? Because you love to dance?
No, I think it goes the other way, actually. Right?
Okay, tell me.
Right. I think that it kind of became my outlet. You know, I was in a relationship for 10 years. Loved him. Will always love him. You know how it goes. But it was like my way of like finding myself again. It's just getting out there and just dancing.
Yeah.
Nothing like cute. I'm not good at it. You know, I wear a bear costume to hide all this. But at the end of the day, it's just fun. You get out there, you just be yourself.
Let go.
Let go. It's
and there's
something
about a gay party that like you can dance crazy. It doesn't matter. No one looks at you oddly. Some people might join you. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
exactly
it's just really what it is.
Yeah.
Like I saw you at Winter Party and it was your first time at Winter Party, right? Hello to Kathy Renna and the task force and all you folks for everything that you do. Anyway, it was Allen's first Winter Party and that fool was in the middle of 5,000 boys living his best life.
My best gay
like
boy life.
living his, I mean, it was like,
yep.
Like, and this was just it for like 3 hours.
Yes. Yes. It was like that, you know?
It was like that.
And you just go and you just dance and have fun.
What is a turn off for you now that you're dating, right? What is a turn off for you? Is there like something that like, you know, oh, no, there's no way. I can't go past this.
Yeah. You know, I feel like every relationship you have, right, you should take something from.
Of course.
Right? And I think if I've learned anything, it is communication is so important, right? So, you know, at the end of the day, I think there's so much room when you're attracted to somebody to like give and take on those things, right? Everyone has a type of, right? Well, I need you to be this tall, or I need you to be blonde, or I need you to be dark. I think those things matter less when you have like a natural connection with somebody. And, but gosh, that like, number one, and this is so nerd, boner killer for Allen.
Okay.
Bad communication.
Bad communication.
Maybe it's just because I'm all grown up now, but like, it's like, just talk to me. That's sexy. Talk to me, be honest, right?
Listen, I understand when a freaking 2-hour meeting could have been an email, okay? I understand that, okay? But on the other side, if I ask you how you're doing and you say fine, then I'm going to continue with my day thinking that you're fine. Yep. I don't want to play the games. I don't have time for that shit. I'm too old for that.
That's what all the time.
You know
I just turned 36.
Like,
I'm too old.
You know what I mean? You're not too old, but I get it. You know what I mean? Like at this point, you've had a 10-year relationship. You know what you don't want. Right. At this point, you know?
And I'm dancing to figure out what I do.
And you're dancing to figure out what you do. You're also going to write a fantasy fiction novel.
Yes, I've been writing.
In what spare time are you going to do that?
Well, that's why I'm only on chapter 11.
Oh, okay. Damn.
My mother calls and yells at me. She watches this later. I promise, chapter 12 is coming. Because she wants to read more.
Okay.
But this was a project I started during COVID.
Oh, okay.
Where I was able, luckily, I worked for university. I worked from home. I was able to work through COVID. But there was a lot of extra free time because, you know, you can't
go anywhere.
Yeah. So I started, and I just really... you know, I made it a priority last winter, right, over Christmas and things like that, to try and get to chapter 10. I'm trying to write 30 chapters, but it's all kind of might and magic and science. And it's either going to be a big flop or a big hit. We'll see.
All right. So if it's a big hit, can you name one of the characters, FayWhat?
I'll think about it. The question is, what kind of character do you want to be?
Ooh, I don't know.
You know?
I don't know. Somebody
Do you wanna be a
badass,
hero?
of
Do you wanna be a
course.
villain?
No, it got to be a villain. I root for the villains. Isn't that crazy?
Right.
Like, I don't want the killer to get caught. There's something wrong with me. All right.
I have ideas already.
I love it. I kill people with my boob. Boom, boom.
Not the laser boob.
Not the laser boob. So, Allen, here at the FayWhat show, we always want to learn more about our leaders, right? And now that, you are the ED of this incredible nonprofit film festival that we all love and adore, welcome. Right? Okay, welcome. And we're going to work you to the bone. And you might hate some of us, but then you're going to love us. That's just how it goes, right? And this is a way for our viewers to learn more about you. So it's called Say What with FayWhat. And basically, I give you two options, like black or white. And you say?
Black.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Dog or cat?
Ooh, dog.
White Lotus or Severance?
Ooh, Severance.
Sandwich or wrap?
Ooh, sandwich.
Podcast or music in the car?
Music in the car.
Pickleball or tennis?
Ooh, tennis.
Asking someone to dance or waiting to be asked to dance?
Oh, asking, always.
Grinder or Sniffies?
Ooh, grinder.
Wicked or Captain America?
Oh, not fair. Oh. Wicked America.
The Wicked America.
Wicked America. I'm a big Marvel fan.
New phone or new pair of shoes?
Ooh, new phone.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Lady Gaga or Adele?
Ooh, Lady Gaga.
Madonna or Janet Jackson?
Ooh, Madonna.
Botox or buttocks?
Buttocks.
Morning sex or night sex?
Ooh, both.
Walks on the beach or being at Twist at 2 in the morning?
Oh, I do know Twist at 2 a.m.
Me too.
That's happened
Man.
a few times.
Right, you probably left Twist at 2 a.m. to go do the walking on the beach. And that would be the perfect night, I'm just saying.
Right.
Donut or cupcake?
Donut.
Blondes or brunettes?
Blondes.
Documentary film or drama?
Drama.
Thriller or comedy?
Comedy.
Yes! Look into that camera and give them your best FayWhat!
FayWhat!
There you go. OUTshine Film Festival begins April 17th. Please follow Allen Martello and also OUTshine Film Festival on all social media outlets. Allen is at Instagram at Allen J. Martello. On Facebook, he's also on there as well, and OUTshineFilm.com. Get your tickets. It's going to be a great time, right?
That's it.
That's
rock
it.
We're going to watch great films. We're going to have great parties. And we are going to be unapologetically
Queer. Yes. OUTshine Film Festival 2025. Now let's kiki about what's going on in the LGBTQ plus community. I have a sidekick joining me in bed for our segment called Gay Boys Sleep Late. And today I am joined by my gay guy pal, executive director of OUTshine Film Festival. That is Allen Martello. Woohoo! Follow him and also OUTshine Film Festival on all social media outlets. And welcome to my bed, boo.
Hey, I've been trying to get in this bed for so long.
Have you really? You've been really trying to get into a girl's bed?
Into your bed.
Have you?
Not a girl.
Oh,
You.
oh, me. Okay,
You're
that's
not
different.
just any girl, honey.
That's
You're my
different.
girl.
Thank
so
you.
here we are. We're my bear. We're ready to go.
I love that. You know what? I thought you were a cow. I am so sorry for
You
misanimaled you.
Wow, I always wanted to be a bear.
No, I love it. And let me tell you, the South Florida, the Bears of South Florida right now are going, yes, he could come and be one of us. Yes.
I got the outfit.
You're ready.
To go.
Listen, so OUTshine Film is starting next week. My God, can you believe it's already here?
April 17th.
April 17th, and less than, it's a week, 8, 9. Yeah,
9
that's
days.
it.
9
Like,
days,
oh
yeah.
my goodness. Are you prepared? Are you ready? Are you excited?
We are ready to go. We are so excited. Ticket sales are live. People are buying tickets. We've introduced new passes this year, so you can buy an all-access pass. You can buy a party pass.
I love
We
that.
have really kick-ass parties.
Really great parties.
So we are ready to go. April 17th, Regal at South Beach.
South Beach,
There's
yes.
so many Regals. I got them all mixed up. Regal
Yes.
at South Beach with a huge party just behind the convention center at the venue at the Rum Room. Hosted
Right
by
after,
CC Blitzer.
right after, host by CC Glitzer. So it's going to be fantastic. All right. For everything OUTshine Film, go on their website and buy a couple tickets today. Okay. Because you don't want to miss this spring's OUTshine Film Festival. Let's kiki on this interesting story. So grab a tissue and hold on to your wig because this one's a heartbreaker. The Vivienne, our fierce drag race UK queen and all-around legend, was this close to hitting Broadway before their untimely passing at 32. Their manager, Simon Jones, spilled the tea on All Out with John Dean, sharing how the duo was plotting superstardom, with Viv eyeing West End domination. But ketamine-related cardiac arrest tragically cut that dream short. While we're still mourning, their family is channeling grief into good by raising awareness of substance abuse. Rest in power, Queen. You were Broadway bound and we all knew it. You are in that Broadway stage in the sky right now. What are we all talking about? Allen, so the Vivienne was like one of my favorite drag queens of all time. And that's, I don't say that lightly, with so many incredible drag queens that we have here in South Florida that we get to see on Drag Race and all of that. And with their untimely death at the beginning of this year, I thought, you know, what happens to many people when people unfortunately overdose on something, their family usually says they died in their sleep. And then they never say what happens, right? And I understand that there's huge shame and there's, you know, some embarrassment to some family members, and other family members probably didn't even know the extent of their drug use, etc. But I think it's so important and such a wonderful thing when the family allows the legacy of someone's passing to really maybe help somebody else.
Yeah. Well, and it's, how do you make something not positive, but how do you make something out of a tragedy like this? I think the family is doing that in such a way that, you know, here's what happened. And look, in our community, we know this is a thing. We know it's a thing.
It happens
everywhere,
all too often.
And it happens all too often. So, you know, we know one of the best ways is education, to have a family embrace that.
Yeah.
Say this will be their legacy. Here's what we're going to do. You know, I think it's brave. I think it's bold. I think it's part of what we as a community need to be doing. You know, it's like they had a plan. That's like the hardest part of this, right?
Yeah.
Is, you know, reach for the stars, literally, right? West End to Broadway. They were talking Dancing on Ice. They were talking all these opportunities.
Yep.
And, you know, winner. And then, you know, something like this happens. And we've seen it here all too many times.
And we've seen it here.
Florida.
We've got an issue in our community where we really think that won't happen to us. Like, no, it won't happen to us, you know? They had dreams. You know, this wasn't a suicide. This wasn't, well, it's a slow suicide, actually, if you really think about it. If you're using drugs, it's a slow suicide. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that, right? And, oh, that hasn't happened to me. Hasn't happened to you yet.
Yes.
Yet.
Yes.
It's all those yets.
Yep. Well, it's it can happen to anybody but me. It's that mentality. And again, it comes down to education, right? Let's not ever be sorry to tell them that. Right?
Yeah.
Let's tell them that. Learn, understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because at minimum, be smart, right? And you do that through education. We do that by sharing these stories, by telling people what's going on. We had a short film at OUTshine in the fall that was, you know, filmed here in Miami. And it was, you know, some girls, they were running simple drugs and it seemed very innocent. And then it was different drugs. And then there was fentanyl involved and then people died.
Yeah.
You know, and we have, you know, hundreds of people watching this film and it's like, wake up, because this happens in real life.
Yeah, and it can happen to you.
And it can happen.
And I think that is what the family, the intention is, to let everybody know that this could happen to the Vivienne, who was on the break to her real big breakthrough. And she passed away, you know, and they passed away, and it could happen. And like Allen said, you know, fentanyl's in everything down here. Okay, my wife works at Jackson, and she says the amount of people that come in there all the time, and it doesn't matter. You think you're smoking your weed and you're okay. It's even in weed, folks. You know, So listen, like Allen said, educate yourself, right? Know what you're doing, right? The reality is that our community is not going to stop using drugs or drinking. We're not.
Right. We're not chasing an endorsement here.
No.
But I think we know, and I think almost everybody can look back, and I've got people that have been in my life in the past 30 years, right, that I've watched go down these paths and what happens. And, you know, we know the last thing anybody wants to hear is stop it, right? And of course, but learn, be smart, educate, at minimum.
At
right?
minimum.
I think that's the bare minimum we got to talk about.
Yep, 100%.
And, you know, from there, it's to start down the right path. You know?
Yep. This is an important conversation for our LGBTQ plus community. Help us tell these important stories by liking and subscribing to the FayWhat Show. Let's kiki on this interesting story. Chappell Roan is off the market. The Good Luck Babe singer told Call Her Daddy that she's been seeing someone for 6 months and is very in love. She met her mystery boo through a friend pre-fame. No setups. Wonder what her type is? Well, weird art girls with pet hamsters, foreign film obsessions, and zero fear of bugs. Chappell Roan's keeping the romance low-key, but her vibe is loud and proud. One thing's clear, our Midwest princess has officially entered her queer, soft girl love era, and we're living for it. Chappell Roan's weird art girl era begins. What are we all...
How would you describe your type? I really don't have one. I know everyone said that, but like, I don't know. I just love, as far as like looks and stuff, I don't really have a type, but I love art girls, like weird art girls, girls who love to read and love to like, who are like very niche. Like, I probably like a girl that collects things and like is okay with an exotic pet, owned a hamster one time and would own one again, or like doesn't give a fuck about their car, will pick up a worm, is not scared of like bugs and snakes, can get down watching a foreign film, would be okay like having zero plan.
All right, now we know what Chappell Roan's into. Oh my goodness. All right, what did you think about that?
Well, Chappell, I run a film festival. No, so I was late to the Chappell train.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
I wasn't like, you know,
yeah,
I didn't jump on at the
Pink Pony
beginning,
Club.
right?
You didn't jump in on that.
But then I did.
Uh-huh.
Hard and fast, and I'm a huge fan, not just of the music, but her as a human, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's so incredibly important. So I'm hashtagging Bring Chappell to Outshine, if you're watching this. But I love this. It's so genuine. It's so real.
Yeah.
Right? There's so much truth. I get this now all the time, right? Alan, what's your type? Alan, what's your type? You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But like, pick up a worm. That's cool.
Right? Not
Right?
be scared of bugs. What else did she
Yeah.
say? Doesn't
Weird
know shit about her
artsy.
car.
Yeah. Maybe doesn't have a plan.
Doesn't have a plan. I mean, but she's also young. You know what I mean? Like at this age, you don't got a plan. I mean, like we got problems. You know. I love Chappell Roan because I mean, you know, she's a lesbian, right? She's gay. She's queer. She's a trailblazer. She's a drag queen. She's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know. And the fact that she's pushed into the gay boy world means so much to me. As a girl that pushes into the gay boy world, that means a lot to me, you know? It takes it, like you said, you were late to the Chappell Roan train, right? And then what? You heard the songs at a drag show, you heard the songs from a drag show, you heard the songs at a movie. I mean, you know, and
One
all
of
of
my
a
best
sudden
friends actually just played them on repeat until I gave up.
and then you were like, God, this song is, I'm gonna have to
But
love
I
it.
ended up just like really, really loving. I think it's Karma did it for me because it spoke to me.
Yeah.
Right at the time that it had come
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
But like, you know, one of my closest friends went to a Chappell concert with like 200 people, and now she's got these concerts with tens
Yeah,
of thousands
tens of
and hundreds of
thousands.
thousands. It's like,
I know.
and again, it's just that genuine, unapologetically queer person she is.
Exactly.
And I love it.
There it is, exactly. And honestly, like now that we know that Chappell Roan has a boo, right? If she didn't have a boo, I would tell her to find her boo at OUTshine Film Festival.
That's right.
Because I mean, you would find one of those, the characteristics she was looking for. I'm like, yep.
You know, all 30 lesbian couples in South Florida all met at Outshine, right?
Oh, I bet. I bet. I met, let's see, I think girlfriend number 5 at Outshine. And then girlfriend number 5 became girlfriend number 9 when I saw her again a couple years later at Outshine. So it happens. It happens.
New and renewing, and it's why, you know, if you look behind the theater at Outshine, we always keep a U-Haul spared there.
Just in case.
So that when you guys meet, you can just
Just
boom,
go. Just go.
Is that
No,
okay?
waste no
Do
time.
lesbians like that joke?
We hate that joke. I just want you to know that.
You know
and
we
every
had-
gay boy out there, like, get a new joke. It really isn't funny.
Yeah.
And, like, it's true, but it's not funny. And the reality is that I know a lot of gay boys that end up moving in together, like, day two also.
Of course.
So it's,
Of
like,
course.
funny how
Or
that
sometimes
is.
they show up for what's supposed to be a couple hours, and 3 days later, you're like,
With all their shit.
are you still here?
Are you still here?
What is going on?
What?
But, you know, we had a film in the fall edition at Outshine. It was called The Muleteer,
Mm-hmm.
which was about a lesbian woman who, you know, dealt with the mules that hauled stuff. And I said, oh, the original U-Haul.
He's funny, right?
You know?
This is an important conversation for our LGBTQ plus community. Help us tell these important stories by liking and subscribing to the FayWhat Show. That's Kiki on this interesting story. So Debra Messing just teased a Will and Grace reboot, but with a twist. On CBS Morning, she said the only way she'd return is, quote, if in 20, 30 years we do a Golden Girls where they're all living in Boca in caftans. End quote. The internet didn't hold back. One user said, quote, girl, you're 56. You're already Golden Girls. Others joked, quote, only if named Jack and Karen. After all, they were the real stars. Ouch. Wow, people are mean. Though Messing said, quote, we've told the story, end quote. Fans aren't done dreaming. Will and Grace, go Boca. Debra spills the tea.
Do you stop and watch? What do you
People
think
ask
about
for
her?
more.
Or, yeah, people ask for more.
No, I don't watch.
You don't.
And people ask all the time, would you come back again? And I feel like the only thing that could possibly work is if in 20, 30 years we do a Golden Girls where they're all living together in Boca in caftan.
Oh, I'm here for that. I like that.
I would like that.
Yeah, I like that.
That's
I wanna
hilarious.
invest in that.
Yeah,
pilot,
but
yeah.
anything before that, I think we've told the story.
Said been there, done that.
Okay, I love Debra Messing, and I loved Will and Grace because it was one of the first shows in our lifetime that had main characters that were gay, and it wasn't just a slapstick. I'm gay, I'm wearing a dress, and I'm, a gay boy. You know what I mean? There was more to it. The writing was funny, and I've got to tell you though, Alan, because I don't remember how many years Will and Grace was on, but I didn't go to it initially. Initially it was like, okay, it was a gay boy and it's fag hag, and I wasn't too interested in the whole thing, and blah blah blah. And then I fell in love with Karen, like so many people did. We all wanted to be
that Karen.
Not a
Karen.
Karen. But that was before Karen's,
Yes.
right? Because we should even change her name just because of that. And Karen she was just so unapologetically queer without being queer. You know what I mean? Like, she just was.
She was just the bitch we all wanted to be.
And, like the alcoholic slut, fag hag, ally, that we all wanted to be was her. She had the best titties, had a nice butt, and was funny while doing it, Like, I was heartbroken years later when I found out that Megan Mullally didn't really talk like that, right? I was like, no!
Never meet your heroes. Never meet your heroes.
So what would you think about Will and Grace? Because didn't they? They came back, right? They had an ending where their kids went off to school together. And
here's the thing for me, because I wasn't like I wasn't like a hardcore. Mm-hmm. It's like saying I wasn't a Trekkie, right? With Star Trek, right? I knew it.
Yeah.
What I loved about it and why I watched it, A, obviously Karen, but B, you kind of got to see the real world gay boy problems that we have in our lives, right? Right there, right? I feel like they were, obviously a little bit more dramatic, or not.
Or
I've
not.
met some gay boys that are pretty dramatic.
Many.
So, can we capture that same essence in a Golden Girls style reboot? I don't know. Maybe.
It all depends on the writers. You know, there's this show right now called Mid-Century Modern, and it's with Nathan Lane and Boomer. I always forget his first name. He's hot. Matt, yes. And everybody on the show is funny, some jokes feel forced, right? Because they're the gay jokes that we've heard for many years. So it probably feels forced to me as a gay person, but to a straight ally, they're probably, wow, this is just hysterical, you know? And so I hope that people give Mid-Century Modern a chance just because it's a great representation of just, gay boys in Palm Springs and what would happen if you and your three best friends decided to live out your years together because your boyfriends died, your partners died, or you couldn't deal with dating anymore, whatever it was. I think we all kind of secretly hope to have that.
Right.
Well,
I think, and first off, this is on my to-do list as soon as this festival's over. It's like second or third thing I'm going to do come May.
Okay.
But I think that, at the end of the day, we all want that companionship. We all want that kind of long-term. Everyone thinks of relationships as being strictly, romantic or strictly sexual or whatever. But, some of my favorite relationships are, they're platonic and they make me laugh, and they're just people that sometimes you just want to take a nap with.
Yeah. And cuddle.
And be there for you.
Yeah.
And if you can do that with some humor, And Matt Bomer is like,
he is adorable,
really,
right? Adorable,
like daddy.
And for many years, me thinking about that now was like, Will and Grace, like, for me, they were pigeonholed in that role. Like, if I ever saw them anywhere else, it was hard.
Well, and I think I actually saw the actor that played Jack,
Mm-hmm.
Will and
Sean
Grace,
Hayes.
Sean Hayes, did a Broadway show where he played God, right?
Wow.
But it wasn't bad, but all you saw was Jack.
Oh, you saw
You know
just
what I mean?
Jack.
He was like very pigeon into that.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Or
Yeah.
Matt Bomer, we've kind of like seen him play these different roles over time.
Yeah.
And he's played straight roles and he's played gay roles. And when he came out, as a queer man, and what that meant to the community was a big deal because we had seen him in all those different roles.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
I would watch.
I love that. I'd watch it.
I would watch Will and Grace and Golden World. I don't know what we'd call it. We'd be witty about it, but I'd give it an episode or two.
Me too.
It could be funny.
Me too.
Trying to keep it Golden Girls is tough. So
No, but I mean, again, mid-century modern is supposed to be competing because they kept on like saying it to us. Oh, this is a new Golden Girls version kind of deal, and it isn't, right? Nothing will ever be like Blanche, Rose, Dorothy, and Estelle Getty, Mama. You know what I mean? No one will ever have that magic.
Maybe us in 30 years.
Maybe with the correct
right
writers. We're in there. I'm
It's
just
gonna be
saying.
you and me in this bed in 30 years going, what are you doing?
What
Stop
are
it.
you doing?
And she's gonna say, estúpida, stop it.
Estúpido, déjame quieta, coño, like that. This is an important conversation for our LGBTQ plus community. Help us tell these important stories by liking and subscribing to The FayWhat Show. Here at The FayWhat Show, we need to help my gay boys. You know that I love my gay boys. I am no one without my gay boys. And in our segment called Dear FayWhat, I provide my expert lesbian knowledge and my vast experience as a living, breathing gay boy in a lesbian's body to help my fellow gay boys. This week, P.U. Poppy sent me an email. Dear FayWhat and Hot Boy in Bed. That's you.
Well, that's me.
That's you, by the way.
Thanks.
Okay? You're welcome. My boyfriend recently decided to embrace his natural side. He quit manscaping, stopped wearing deodorant, and only shampooed his hair once or twice a month. He still showers regularly, thank God, but he uses his all-natural soap that doesn't work as well, and I'm worried he's going to quit doing that eventually, too. I want to be supportive of his new lifestyle choice, but I truthfully find it very unattractive. And smelly. It feels extremely unhygienic, excuse me. When I brought it up with him, he got offended and said if I'm not willing to embrace him for who he is, then that's my issue and I can either accept it or break up with him. I don't want to break up with him, but I also don't want to make out with someone who has BO and only brushes their teeth when they feel like it. Ew. What should I do? Signed, P.U. Poppy. Wow. Take that in, Allen. What do you tell P.U. Poppy? Has this ever happened to you? Look at you. You're at a loss for words.
Look. I want to be open-minded and supportive. Pero. I've not necessarily experienced like that because I think we have two things to look at, right? For P.U. Poppy.
Okay.
One, with this like dramatic lifestyle change, right? Which is a conversation I have had in past relationships, right? This is what I signed up for, so how does this now affect what's going on? And then you have like part of it. It's like, yes, you want to be supportive, but
it's a tough one.
This is a very hard one.
Like smells are important to me.
Yes.
And when I'm intimate with someone, they're important to me,
yes.
right? And I don't want to be like, I'm trying to be discreet here, folks at home, But if I want to be all in and all in it, everything has to smell okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And look, I think gay boys will all say, we'll all like deal with a little muss,
yes,
right? A little sweat,
like you
that's
after
sexy,
work,
that's
like
man.
after work, yeah.
But like,
There's
I
that.
will put gum in your mouth if I kiss you and you smell. Like I will say here.
Yes.
Take the hints, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
hygiene is really important.
It is.
But again, love is fickle.
Oh,
So I think that's
tough.
the question is. I think all relationships are built on a level of mutual benefit,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Right. It's a scale, whether you like it or not.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And not all those things are equal per se. It's not about I give this much, so you give that much. It's about I need this or I want this from you. Is that enough to deal with this.
Yeah.
That's kind of my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Again, but you made a really good point. I didn't sign up for this, right? This
Right.
is when you first date somebody, you have the whole interview process,
Yes.
right? You let them see the best part of you, and then slowly but surely you start showing them the rest, right? And then they still want to be with you, right? But then, I don't know how long these guys have been together, but then all of a sudden you have this drastic lifestyle
Just
change.
drastic.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
He
Like,
took the job and they changed the wages.
like 100%. You know what I mean? Where, okay,
Yeah.
my wife got into this cult a couple years ago. It's called CrossFit, right? And when she got into that, all of a sudden, like when it was our dinner time together, she wasn't there, a different time. You know what I mean? And I was like, bitch, I didn't sign up for this. You know what I mean? And we had to have a communication.
Yes.
We had to sit down and go, okay.
Yep.
This is infringing on my time. This is your new lifestyle bullshit cult people. How do we align both of them together?
Right.
You know what I mean? This is not as drastic as PU Poppy, but communication has to be.
If you ask me, what's Allen's biggest boner killer? Bad communication.
Bad communication.
Right? And that's like, is there a way for both parties to express what they need?
Yes.
Right, Poppy? You know, because I gotta tell you, if I go to my partner, right, in the future, should I ever have one again?
Yes,
And
which
I
you will.
say, here's what's going on, and I don't feel great about this. Let's talk about it. And the response is, this is who I am now, and if you don't like it, you can leave. I got to tell you, there's the door. And
He's
I hate
right.
giving that kind of advice because I want to be supportive.
Yeah.
But that lack of, like,
He's right.
you have to bend a little, right?
Yeah, but
because
no.
of this lifestyle change.
Yeah.
That has to go both ways. That's
No,
just my.
that's true. That's kind of an effed up way
You know.
to answer you also. And
Yeah.
now that Allen says that, have you taken a moment to think that maybe he wants to break up with you?
Ooh,
Okay,
now we
it's-
causing drama. I like it.
No,
Maybe this
pero
is
es
his
la
way.
verdad. It's the truth. Think
Interesting.
about it. You're with a guy, he was a certain way, and then all of a sudden he's like, hey, if you don't like it, there's the door.
Yeah.
Okay?
I just think that's such a crappy out, right?
Yes, it's
Right,
a crappy out.
That's like the biggest F you, I think, in a relationship. Well, this is who I am now. If you don't like it, goodbye.
Yeah,
And that's okay. That doesn't mean that's for you,
no.
you know?
Yep, for real. I mean,
Interesting.
listen, relationships are about sacrifices, but sacrifice doesn't mean that you have to be uncomfortable. And at the end of the day, this is your home too, right? And if he's stinking up your place, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to completely push down your feelings just to please your man, all right? So really, really think about it, because I think he's giving you an out. You might want to take it. I know that
Maybe.
sounds awful, but maybe your kind of guy is one who babes, and trust me, there will be plenty of, there's guys who love that.
If you
know?
can't communicate, I can masturbate, okay?
That should be
That's
on a
the bottom
shirt.
line. Okay, I just made
You
that
should
up.
wear
We're gonna make a thing out of it.
But think about it. For pride, you should always wear that.
It's just-
If you
it's
can't
so
communicate,
important.
I will
It's so
masturbate.
important, right? So get him to communicate, and if you can't do that,
Then
honey,
masturbate.
You can handle it yourself.
There it is. All right. So
With washed hands.
With washed hands. So, folks, keep those emails coming. We love to hear everything that's going on, and we love to help you here at the FayWhat Show. So email me at faywhat@happeningout.com. Let me remind you that the Hotspots Happening Out nonprofit travel club is planning an amazing Florida AIDS Walk cruise on November 2nd from Miami. This 3-day cruise is on the gigantic 170,000-ton MSC Seascape and starts at just $199. It supports some of the most important LGBTQ plus nonprofits in South Florida. Special parties, events, and even a 3-day open bar and Wi-Fi package are available for just $68. And that's unlimited cocktails, beer, wine, sodas, coffee, bottled water, and Wi-Fi for just $68 for all 3 days. This is the only cruise like it in 2025. Join us at Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission for the LGBTQ plus community.
Welcome to the newest trip from the nonprofit travel club, Florida AIDS Walk Pride Cruise aboard MSC Seascape, departing November 2nd, 2025. Celebrate pride and unity on this one-of-a-kind 3-day cruise aboard the luxurious MSC Seascape, all starting from just $199. Your journey begins in Miami as you board the stunning MSC Seascape, a $1 billion, 170,000-ton masterpiece of Italian design, offering incredible amenities, exclusive events, and a vibrant community of travelers united by a great cause. The MSC Seascape is a 5-star state-of-the-art new ship. This 170,000 giant ship boasts unique features like the glass-floored Bridge of Sighs, panoramic elevators, and a replica of the Statue of Liberty. The onboard design pays tribute to New York City, featuring Times Square-inspired spaces and a breathtaking LED wall. You will want to sail in the world's best cabin category called MSC Yacht Club. This luxury cruise within a cruise is a private 3-deck top of the ship private club. The yacht club includes private reception 24 hours a day, a gourmet private restaurant, a luxury lounge with open bar and food 24 hours a day. Available to just 200 guests. Your yacht club has a private sun deck and private pool. There are so many other features that makes this a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The nonprofit travel club is unique in that we are not a travel agency. We are a nonprofit 501c3 company that uses educational travel to raise funds for the community. With us, you travel for good. And that is what you do on this cruise as you support the Florida AIDS Walk and the beneficiaries that provide support to our community. Our trips are special because they include so much. Onboard activities and exclusive parties at Ocean Cay are all part of your travel package. Not just that, this Pride Cruise also offers you unlimited open bar package with cocktails, beer, wine, sodas, coffees, and bottled water, along with Wi-Fi aboard the ship and on Ocean Cay for just $68. Plus, you get access to over a dozen bars and exclusive beach events. Your open bar package is unique in that it is valid on ship and all day and evening at bars on the private island. Your wonderful Florida AIDS Walk Pride Cruise begins on day 1 as you board MSC Seascape as early as 11 a.m. You enjoy an exclusive open bar cocktail party with Florida AIDS Walk reunion guests. Tonight, you have an exclusive invitation to the Travel Club dance party. There are shows and great dining choices awaiting you. On day 2, you visit what Condé Nast readers say is the world's best cruise line private island. $1 billion was spent to create this magnificent marine reserve. Ocean Cay features incredible beaches and lagoons. When you participate in our exclusive $68 open bar and Wi-Fi package, all services will be available to you at more than a dozen island bars. You will enjoy lunch at the main Ocean Cay Pavilion and more than a dozen food trucks that provide unique food opportunities. Plus, the Florida AIDS Walk Cruise will have several events today. This morning, you will participate in our pavilion and beach party called Seize the Day. It will be the only daytime beach party with a DJ and great beach dance music. Tonight, you are invited to Roar on the Show, where you have bonfires, a DJ, an open bar, and a thrilling rainbow light show at the Ocean Cay Lighthouse. Your day will be one of the best tropical experiences of your life. Tonight, once you are back on the ship, you participate in our exclusive invitation to the Travel Club's dance party. Your amazing cruise to celebrate the Florida AIDS Pride Cruise comes to an end on day 3. Enjoy a farewell breakfast and you can get off the ship as early as 7:30 a.m. By being on this trip, you have not only had fun, but also have helped so many Florida AIDS Walk beneficiaries. Secure your spot with just a $99 deposit for the interior, ocean view, balcony, and suites, or pay just $299 for the exclusive Yacht Club category. Flexible interest-free payment plans are available for just $49 per month. Protect your trip with travel insurance starting at $36, or choose cancel for any reason coverage starting at just $67. Book now at the Travel Club website and be part of this unforgettable journey. Celebrate pride, luxury, and making a difference. Don't miss this one-time only cruise in 2025.
So that's it. That's the FayWhat show. I hope that you had fun. I had so much fun. Listen, I just wanted to show you my shirt, how wonderful it is, right? This is from Unity on the Bay. I got to wear this for Miami Beach Pride, and I just loved how the inclusivity that it shows, right? So thank you so much to Unity on the Bay for all that you do and for this great shirt, right? I love it. So listen, let me say thank you so much to Allen Martello for being here on the show with me today. He was so much fun, right? Oh my God, he's hysterical. Did I mention that he's single? Did I also mention he's a top? Yes! Yes! Listen, OUTshine Film Festival opens up the 17th of this month. Go get your tickets. It's going to be an extraordinary time in Broward and Dade County and everywhere in between, all right? So, folks, you know, I'm really passionate about trying to connect the L and the G in our LGBTQ plus community. Sometimes it's hard for us girls, but if we believe that we are one strong community, then we must support all the letters of our LGBT and Q plus. We open every show with a nod to Mary Tyler Moore and That Girl's Marlo Thomas. This show is dedicated to a strong LGBTQ plus community. I just encourage you to be a little bit kinder, a little bit funnier, and embrace our tremendous diversity because it really is what makes us so damn strong. Until then, make sure you follow me on all social media outlets, Facebook, IG, Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube. Follow FayWhat. Until next Tuesday, world, at 9 a.m. live or anytime on demand. I'm FayWhat, and I'm #thatgirl. I wish you a week full of sunshine and rainbows. Please consider fostering or adopting a pet in need. Love you. Stay gay.
Rainbows, gay boys, #that girl. Sunbeams, drag queens, L-word. Is that girl the girl of all our dreams? She's everything that every girl should be. Aqua, South Beach, #that girl. Pride-filled, tea dance, Wilton. Is that girl Latina, but she's universal too?